This is the Servola briefing. Here are the biggest enterprise tech stories from the last 24 hours. Let's get into it. Amazon completed a $50 billion investment in OpenAI, and the number is the least important line in the filing. AWS is now the exclusive third-party cloud distributor for OpenAI Frontier. Buy that agent platform through a cloud vendor, and it reaches you through Amazon or not at all. On the published terms, OpenAI is contracted to spend about $138 billion with AWS. On 30th July, attackers drained about $70 million in Bitcoin from 1,196 addresses in 41 minutes. The cryptography was fine. A build time flag set to 0 quietly compiled a software fallback into cold card firmware in March 2021, cutting seed randomness from 128 bits to roughly 40. CoinKite states plainly that updating the firmware does not repair an existing seed. This is a migration job, not a patch. Xbox prices rose across Europe and the United Kingdom on 1st August, and the entry Series S went up 42.9% against 33.3% for the flagship. The 1 TB Series S moved from 399 to 599 euros. Microsoft discontinued the 2 TB Series X outright. Its stated reason is that console memory and storage prices have risen more than 2.5 times, with another doubling expected by autumn 2027. OpenAI published 10 solved open problems on 1st August from an internal model it calls Astra, and valued the compute at about $2,000 using the API rates of a model you can already buy. Astra has no price and no release date. Every result ships with a Lean 4 certificate anyone can check. Nothing makes the attribution checkable, so the number of attempts and the human steering stay undisclosed. European tech raised 44.1 billion euros in the first half of 2026, up 27%, across 1,740 deals. That is the fewest funded companies in 6 years, so the money went up while the number of firms receiving it went down. 2 credible houses measured the same 6 months and put AI at 26.5 billion euros and at 5.9 billion. The gap is where each one draws the boundary. AI computing capacity is doubling every 7 months, while the compute you get per dollar doubles only every 2.2 years. Supply is compounding about 3 times faster than affordability, so an abundance story upstream reaches your budget as a price story. Epoch AI publishes at least 3 doubling rates. Applied to 20 million chips, they give roughly 107, 186, or 354 million by the end of 2028. PJM's board directed a fair ERC filing on 27th July that defines a large load as 50 megawatts or more, including several sites inside a 1-mile radius. A campus built as 3 20-megawatt halls is a single large load and cannot split its way under the line. New loads without their own capacity by June 2027 are curtailed first, and PJM is seeking 6,831 megawatts of backstop. IonQ completed its $1.8 billion purchase of Skywater on 31st July. The FTC split 1-to-1 on a settlement, so the deal closed with no conditions attached at all. Commissioner Meada's published statement records a vertical foreclosure concern that warranted further investigation. D-Wave, PsiQuantum, and silicon quantum computing all run wafers through that foundry, and from 31st July, it is owned by a company they are racing. Apple services revenue fell to $30.74 billion from $30.98 billion the previous quarter, the first sequential decline since 2022. Finance chief Kevin Parekh named mobile gaming and app store rule changes in 3 markets. The cost of the new store terms is now visible in a public number rather than only in a policy document. Apple is appealing the American ruling and not the European one. Similarly raised more than $200 million at a $2 billion valuation on 30th of July, 5 months after a $100 million Series A to sell simulated consumers. Expect a synthetic panel pitch inside your next research cycle. Ask for the holdout study before you ask for the price. CVS Health is both a flagship customer and an investor in this round, so ask for a second reference. That is your briefing. The full analysis on every story in 10 languages, free at servola.de/journal. We will see you tomorrow.